Welcome to this market update, July 7th, 2025, Monday. All right, we're gonna just start off by taking a look at the trading plan I posted this morning. We'll see how that worked out. You'll see this is the image I posted before market open. I said we are showing some signs of weakness from the overnight trading session, which could indicate a possible pullback incoming from the current lockout rally. If we do rally out of the gate, do sellers step up near the overnight high, or do we get acceptance and continuation above yesterday high of day? If we sell off, do buyers step up near yesterday low of day, or do we accept below and fill the gap below us, then create a higher low on the larger frame time charts? I said look to XLK, SMH, DXY for hints in intentions of this market, and of course, as well, is ADD and tech. Then I left this comment down here. What has been the leader of the lockout rally? Semiconductors. Where is the SMH chart today? Semiconductor chart today? Well, it opened up gap down. So what was the key to today's session? Again, SMH. Here's the picture of SMH this morning. Okay, so let's compare this to what happened today. Go to the SPY chart. Get off of a 2-minute time frame because no thanks. Okay. So at open, we had a slight push up, did not get above the overnight high or anything like that, then immediately started to come down. Yesterday low of day was right about here. So we got to yesterday low of day. Buyers did not step up. We got a lower high below yesterday low of day and filled the freaking gap. So what did I post again? All right, you can see I have an arrow below yesterday low of day indicating if you see a lower high at this spot, go for it, look to fill that gap. So that's exactly what happened. Now, I said we wanted to be looking at the SMH chart to know, what was happening, what might happen on SPY. This is the SMH chart today. As you can see, it was obviously a red day. Let's switch over to the 5-minute on 5-minute. Okay, so immediately we opened up, slightly gapped down, immediately went up and filled that, and then started downtrending. Clear sign that the market was showing us some hints. Things are downtrending. Gap might fill. What else did I say to look at? DXY. Let's take a look at that. This is also I also talked about this in the last video. If DXY continues to move up and holds this current downtrend moving on up, we can expect the market will probably move down and fill the gap. Sorry about the yawning. I had also mentioned looking at XLK. I have a clean XLK chart somewhere. There we go. I've also been talking about if XLK starts moving down, filling any of the gaps on the XLK chart, look to pullbacks in the market. Look what happened. XLK moved down, filled one gap. So that being said, looking at the XLK chart, is this a reasonable spot for a higher low? Well, it is. You could see we pulled back to a previous high. and then started to move back up. I mean, obviously, we still have room to pull back further, and we could, but the pullback today could be a reasonable spot for a pullback if we're going to remain in a lockout rally where we have no like true hard pullbacks. Let's go back to SMH, take a look at that. If it was a reasonable spot for a pullback. Switch on to the daily here. Again, same type of thing. We pulled back to a previous high. So it's a reasonable spot for a higher low. We could certainly afford to pull back further. But if the lockout lot rally remains, then yeah, we continue. Tomorrow we look for a smaller time frame higher low above yesterday high today, right here about 282.35. If we do get that, then we can expect, SPY, QQQ are probably going to continue back up, lockout rally. If we do not get that, continues down, then we can expect our pullback to go further on SPY and QQQ. So let's take a look at SPY. Wherever it is, I have so much shit open. All right, SPY. Switch on down to one chart here. Switch to the daily. My God. Oh my God, I got all these crap arrows in my way. Hold on. All right. So did SPY pull back to a reasonable spot for a higher low? Again, we pulled back to these previous highs right here, this previous support zone, 618.50. So, and we filled a gap. So yeah, I mean, this could very well be the spot where we get a higher low and we just continue to move higher if we're going to stay in a lockout rally. So how do we know if that's what's going to happen or not? Well, tomorrow, basically what we're going to be looking for, do we get a higher low over the overnight high, higher low over yesterday high a day? If so, we get those things, then yeah, we're probably moving back to all-time highs. But let's say we get above overnight high, price fails, we get a look above and fail with a lower high below the overnight high, then I would say set yourself up to go short at least to yesterday low a day, then look to market internals, ADD tick, look to the XLK chart, look to the SMH chart, and possible continuation down further 616, then down further previous all-time high 613.30. Below that point, I get a little uncomfortable. So I would just be looking to short to those levels if we get some type of setup like look above and fail, or we get a lower high below the overnight low on, say, the 5-minute, 2-minute chart, whatever it is. If we get those things, short. So that would be the main ideas that I'm looking for tomorrow. Otherwise, we could be looking at a day of consolidation. If we kind of stay in this lower value area here, we could definitely be looking at some crappy consolidation there, which you probably don't want to trade. Let's take a look at some other charts. Let's look at QQQ. Sorry for the delay. I don't have it open already. Run over to the daily chart here. All right, let me get rid of the arrows again. Hopefully I don't accidentally delete something else. All right, so again, we're seeing the same thing on QQQ. Today we filled a gap, pulled back to a previous level right here, previous highs. We could, if we stay in the lockout rally, just continue back up to all-time highs. If we get a higher low on smaller time frame above yesterday high day, above overnight high, depending on where that is, then probably look for continuation right on back to all-time highs and then blue skies above that. If we get a lower high below the overnight low, or we get a look above the overnight high and fail, then, continue short right on down here to 546.25 and then 540.75. 540.75 is the previous all-time high. I am going to be looking to always look for some type of reversal at that level, possibly heading right on back up to all-time highs. So we get a reversal on the hourly chart in this level. I'm looking to go long back to all-time highs. Even if we feel this gap down here, then get a reversal pattern, I would still be comfortable saying the same thing. Reversal pattern on the hourly chart, even filling this gap, I would be comfortable going long, targeting highs again. That would be great trade, risk reward, etc. Let's take a look at a few other charts here. What is NVIDIA doing? I just screwed up that arrow. All right, let's take a look at the daily. Okay. All right, back to the hourly. Previous all-time high is 153.14. So the way I'm looking at this one, if we get a lower high below yesterday, lower day, I would be targeting 155, then down to previous all-time highs. If we can catch a higher low above all this junk from yesterday, 158.75, target yesterday high at day right here, or no, sorry. Target was yesterday high at day is actually, now I have to look at a smaller time frame, figure this out. Hold on. Okay. If we get a lower high above 158.75, target yesterday high day, lower high above that, then target all-time highs. I don't know why there's the yesterday high day right there. Get rid of it. All-time highs are up here. So that would be the way I'm looking for that chart. And then, of course, as always, goes without saying, if we get above 158.75, it fails to create a lower high and creates a look above and fail, looking something like that, then obviously that's very bearish. You would want to short that. And vice versa, if we went below, didn't get a lower high, got back up and made a higher low, then we'd want to go long. AGX, this is one I traded or shared on Facebook. We got a big old bull flag here. So just kind of waiting for this to break out, target all-time highs. AEM is another one I shared this weekend. It looks like we're starting to break out of that bull flag. So I'd be watching that closely tomorrow. See if we kind of break above this level and then target towards the highs there. Meta. All right, so with Meta here, looks like we're in the process of potentially creating a higher low. If we get above these levels, then create a higher low on a smaller time frame chart, targeting back up towards all-time highs. Tesla is been somewhat interesting. Um, Obviously, Elon Musk, Donald Trump been fighting, and every time this crazy stuff happens between them, there's a huge gap down. It's determined its own overreaction, and then there's some recovery. But it's now happened 3 times, and as far as I'm concerned, you've now had 3 opportunities to get out of your shares, to get out of your long positions. It's looking dangerous. You look at this chart. Like we got a big old downtrend here. We have like a potential double top here, potential head and shoulders. Um, I'm staying away from Tesla at this point, at least going long until at least a break of this downtrend line. It's becoming too much. Microsoft has been rejecting and just consolidating near the 500 level here. Um, this is bullish consolidation because you haven't seen much of a sell-off. It is consolidating at highs. Should we get a higher low above this 500, then, blue skies above. Till then, I'm just not really trading it, just consolidation stuck below 500. Apple filled a gap above today, reversed and went back short. Apple's not been great as of late. It's never recovered from the tariff madness. They haven't done much with AI. I'm avoiding it. I would say it does kind of look almost like a bull flag right here. But until we can break above this and get a higher low above all this right here, I would avoid going long on it. Uber, one of the true market leaders, take a look at this. It came down, made a double bottom at a previous all-time high, screamed back on up, created new all-time highs. Coinbase, we have a clear and convincing bull flag long pull here, big old flag right here. Should we get a higher low above 363.45, I would be looking to target 382. That's a nice move. It's a pretty convincing trade right there. Oracle, if we can pull back to this 225.80, get some type of reversal pattern to go back long, I would be looking to target long 238. It's been pretty clear price action. You can see it breaks up, comes back down, hits the highs, breaks up. So it should come back down, hit the highs, go back up. That's it for this Monday video. I'll be posting again in the morning with my trade plan for the day. See you then.